Hi everyone, it's Giorgia here and welcome to BeeColorful. Today I will open the Tonic Craft Kit number 40, a kit that allows us to create small gift boxes. The color combination is very unique, which honestly put me a little in trouble. In fact, we find a palette of reds, greys and browns, all very dark colors that I'd probably never have combined together. But the beauty thing of this kit is the challenge that allows us to go beyond our comfort zone. So stay with me to find out what I managed to come up with this kit. But now let's open the box. In all the Tonic Craft Kit we find the set of exclusive dies and stamps, a selection of nouveau products, and a set of Craft Perfect cards, all match the theme of the kit. Dies and stamps cannot be bought separately, while all other products can be bought in the shops. I remind you that below in the description box you will find the list of all the products included in the kit and those not included that I will use during the video. Also, if you'd like more information about this monthly kit, I leave you the link to the Tonic Studios website down below in the description box. And here is the set of cards. We find two 300 GSM black cardstock, a maroon red classic card, a grey classic card, a red mirror card, and a black satin mirror card. This is also very beautiful. Then we have a pearlescent brown card, a pearlescent brown embossed paper, really gorgeous. Finally, we have the red cotton paper with an embossing pattern that look like berries. As for the nouveau products, we find my love glitters with a ruby red color, a Glimmer paste. If you'd like to see how to make your own glitter paste, I leave you the link to that video in the tab that will appear above. Then we find a bottle of red stone drop. When it dries, you can see a fabulous texture. It looks like a small stone. Amazing! Finally, we find a sample of Mica Mist, a spray with a shimmery red finish. In this kit we also find a grey and white twine by Craft Perfect. And let's move on to the dies. As I have already said, this set allows us to create boxes. In fact, we find the die for the body of the box, those for the lid and the base, and various dies to create decorative panels. A die that creates corners to decorate the corners of the box, as well as the intricate coordinated dies to embellish our project. A design reminds me a mosaic. This dies allows us to create a closing system for the box. More dies to decorate the sides of the box, a die to create a tag with coordinated dies to add sentiment, and this was the die set. Let's move on to stamps, where we find various sentiments and decorative stamps. And this is the content of the Tonic Craft Kit 40. I will propose the box creation, but this box will definitely go out of the style proposed by this kit. I hope you will like my project. On YouTube you will find a lot of ideas to create these boxes with the style proposed by the kit. So I thought I'd offer you on a different way, but not in this video. In fact, despite being a kit to create boxes, I'd like to give you some ideas to create cards. So now let's start with card number 1. Used twine can only be used to make decorative bows. In this card, I will propose you a design where the twine will be the focal point. To create the card, I'm gonna use this die to create holes from the Tonic Craft Kit 32. If you don't have this set, you can easily use a hole punch. On 300 GSM white cardstock, I'm gonna make 2 panels that are 5¼ by 4 inches. Then, with a stitch rectangle die, slightly smaller than the panels that I create, I'm gonna make a central window on both panels. I'm going to die cut the second panel with the first one, leaving the die in the same position. Thus, I will obtain 2 identical frames. I finish separating the central part with a precision knife. Some parts have not been die cut well due to the thickness of the 2 cards, but never mind, the important thing is to have 2 identical frames. Now on one of the frames I'm going to die cut the holes on all 4 sides. I need these holes to insert the twine. I fix one end with some tape adhesive, so let's start creating our twist composition. Firstly, I'm going to create a kind of zigzag, going from one side of the frame to the other and skipping 2 holes. You can stop here if you'd like. I continue by passing the twine also from the lower side to the upper one and the other way around. Once my composition is finished, I'm going to fix the end with tape adhesive. I will use the second frame to cover the holes and finish the panel. Of course, there are many differences in thickness, horrible, I'd say, but the solution is very simple. To bring everything to the same level, I'm going to apply some foam pad in the areas where there is no string. Perfect, now I don't feel any depth and I can glue the frames together. Now I'm gonna make the background by cutting out a panel of maroon red paper. Even between the background and the back of the frame with the string, there are differences in thickness that do not allow the two cards to adhere completely, with the risk that they will not remain glued together. Then, as before, I apply some foam pad in the areas where there is no twine. And I'm going to glue the frame to the background panel. I'm going to prepare my card base on white cardstock in standard size, that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Then I move on to the sentiment, die cutting with love on white cardstock, together with its coordinated die. Still with the matching die, I'm going to die cut the base for the sentiment on maroon red paper. I'm gonna glue the sentiment on its base. And now I can decide where to glue the sentiment. So I glue it in the center using some foam pad. I'm gonna attach everything on the card base, and as final details I'm going to add a few drops of stone drop here and there in the background. Thus ending the first card. I think both masculine and feminine style. For the second card I will use this die to create a decoration. Also, I will show you the stencil technique using two of the products contained in the kit. But let's continue in order. First of all, I'm gonna make a panel out of white cardstock using a rectangle die. Now with the mica mist from the kit, I'm gonna create my own background. Once dry, I proceed to create a decorative strap, cutting out a strip of brown pearlescent paper and the buckle on the red mirror card using the die from the kit. I wrap the strap on the panel so that the creases are created in the right place. I'm going to create a fishtail at one end of the strap, and I can glue all in the panel. Next, I'm going to stamp one of the sentiment on the top of the strap using the black ink and embossing it with black embossing powder. Now I'm gonna make another panel out of black cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then another one on white cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I stick the back panel onto the white one and I proceed to decorate these panels with the stencil technique using this stencil from Tonic Craft Kit 21, but you can use any stencil you prefer. As a medium, I will use the Nouveau Glimmer paste included in the kit that I'm gonna spread with a spatula. The best part, I remove the stencil, and the worst part, waiting for it to dry. Once dry, I can proceed to make the stencil also on the opposite corner. Okay, now I let it dry again. Well, now that it's all dry, let's move on to the second step. First of all, I'm going to position the main panel on the background panel, fixing it temporarily with masking tape. Then, always using the same stencil, I reposition it by matching the image with the one created before. This time I use different medium, glitter. One way to apply glitter with stencils is to use glue. I'm going to use a gel medium. The glue must not be too liquid. So I'm gonna spread the gel medium as if it were a texture paste. I carefully remove the stencil and I apply the glitters. And let it dry. I'm going to repeat the stencil for the opposite side as well, covering the sentiment portion and the strap. I let it dry again. Longer process, I know. Now I'm gonna make the card base on white cardstock in standard size, that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Next, I proceed to glue everything using double-sided tape adhesive for the background panel and some foam tape for the main panel, making sure to match the image obtained with the stencil. And now a round of applause for me! Thank you, thank you. I glued the panel backwards. Don't worry, I'm going to cut the card in half and glue the panel onto another card base. I will not add any final details because I think this card is already beautiful, sparkling, shiny. And this was the last card of this video. Today we have seen how to use some products included in the kit, such as glitter, glimmer paste and twine. Therefore, replicable cards, even for those who have not bought this kit. We only used a die to create the sentiment on the first card, so I'm waiting for you at the next video where we will use the other dice in a lot of different ways, squeezing the kit well. Thank you for joining with me, see you next time and be colorful!